Welcome back to the Amsterdam Chess Open 2025 recaps. This is round 2. I am currently on 0 out of 1. I lost my first game. If you haven't seen that, I suggest you check out that game before watching this one, because this was round number 2. I came into this very hopeful. Round 1 I had lost, but I had played a very high level game of chess. I was feeling good, I was feeling confident. I'm playing white. Let's see what happened. So I open up with my London system. This is my my beloved opening, is what I know best. And we entered this line with bishop c4. Now, whenever the bishop comes to c4, it is a very common idea to go back to c4 rather than playing the more typical c3, which belongs to the London system. Now, I'm not sure what the evaluation is doing on this side, but pay attention to the number. This is 0-0. I don't know why it's going all black. Now, here I played this move queen b3, which is basically just trying to poke at the black position a little bit. We're trying to create some weaknesses on the queen side. For example, b6 would be a pretty weakening move. You can see now the evaluation going up a little bit, although it's still going crazy. Or a move like knight here would possibly still allow me to take this. I do need to prepare it, because if I take it right away, there is going to be knight b4, and this fork is going to be very dangerous. And if, like in the game, the opponent goes queen c8, the queen is kind of misplaced on this square. Now, we develop some more pieces. I bring the rook on the same file as the queen. As Simon Williams says, you can never go wrong having a rook on the same file as the opponent's queen. And now I get the chance to develop my bishop like this. Pretty comfortable. And out of the opening, I would say that I'm pretty happy. Is 0.6 towards white. This evaluation is really, really going crazy. And now my opponent decides to go knight to h5. Now, this move, well, it's trying to pick up the dark square bishop, right? Because, of course, if I go back, he can simply take, and this happens. And if I go somewhere like here, for example, he can still push the bishop away. Although this is not very good for black, he probably has to do it with h6. Yeah, that's better. Now, here I had a chance to gain a lead with e4, and I was calculating this in the game, but then I calculated knight takes and pawn takes, and I was looking at these pawns and thinking, why am I splitting my pawns, allowing this knight in, and like potentially in the future black can simply take this. But this is what I failed to realize, that now f7 would fall with check, and now white is simply completely winning. Actually, I can probably just castle and have a very, very, very easy game. Instead of going for that, I played bishop to e5. Now, you will need to excuse me, from this moment on, the board will be kind of grayed out as it is right now, rather than having the colors like this. This is because there has been there have been many problems with the DGTs during this tournament. So the digital boards weren't recording the moves properly. So this right here, knight h5, is the last move that the digital board recorded properly. And from here on, I had to manually input the moves, which chess.com recognizes as sidelines. And that is why it's giving us this, this color like this. We will survive. By the way, this is another weird thing about the DGT. For this game, my name is Ruben. Now, for those of you who don't know, my name is not Ruben, my name is Pietro. But again, there were some kind of issues with the boards. Now, the key of the point of this move, bishop e5, is that if the knight takes, we are actually very happy after taking back with the pawn, because this knight, believe it or not, is completely trapped. There is no way to save it. If you create an escape square for the knight, for example, with the g6, trying to get it back like this, I am still going to play h3, and after the knight runs back, I'm going to play g4, and now the bishop is trapped, meaning that black has to play something like g5 to create this escape square. Now we still go h3, knight back, and still g4, and we're just gaining a bunch of space on the king side, and these pawns are very misplaced. So that would have been nice. Instead, the opponent simply goes back with the knight. I castle, he develops the bishop, h3, and he gets rid of this bishop. And now I take with the knight, and eventually this knight comes back. Now, in this position, I started to spend quite a bit of time, because see, the thing is, white has quite a few options here. So one possibility is to go bishop to d3. And basically, of course, if the bishop takes, we're very happy. We maintain control of these squares, very good control of the center, developed queen, rooks in the center, white is slightly better. But of course, black has the option to take the knight, and after we take here, and black takes here and we take here, I didn't really like these pawns. The engine thinks it's fine, it thinks it's equal, but from a human standpoint, this is not a great conversion. Now, the best move, and a move that I was definitely calculating, is knight takes to d7. And now the idea after the queen takes is that we simply push this pawn, and maybe we bring this rook in, and we have a very nice center. Wait, rook cd1 is not the idea here? What is it? Oh, the engine simply wants d5. Yeah, after d5, I had calculated this position right here, and it was quite hard to evaluate whether white actually has any advantage. Yes, the pieces look very advanced and active, but it's not like we're threatening anything. Black is very solid, and it's going to be a matter of just a couple of moves bringing the rooks in. And most of you might know that bishops are stronger in open positions, and this is a super open position, and black is the only one with the bishop pair. So this is why I didn't go for it. Instead, the move I played was very imprecise. I played rook c to d1, now allowing my opponent to swap the knights, and I thought that this pawn here was going quite nice. Instead, it turned out to be a major weakness. So the opponent plays b5, pushing the bishop back, trading, and now goes queen to e5. Very good stuff by the opponent. The only way to defend this pawn is to play f4. So actually, I could have played something like queen c2, for example, and simply give up that pawn and try to create my own targets. F4 is the best move, but now this diagonal right here is a very big weakness long term, and we're going to see that. So the rook comes here, I defend my rook, he takes and brings the other rook. Now I thought I was doing something pretty smart by going knight to e4, and it is the best move. I am trying to basically come here to this outpost, and if I get just one move, and I can land my knight there. Oh wait, the engine doesn't like that. Oh yeah, no, I needed to prepare it first. So here, and if I can get a second move, is this now the moment? Can I now come here? Okay, well, I thought this was much better. I'm seeing this now. It's not as good as I thought. The idea is that this is an outpost for the knight. And if a bunch of trades happen, like this, queen takes and takes, we basically have a passed pawn. And my idea was to basically push this pawn. Now, I'm not fully aware of why this is not good. I'm trying to figure that out. So the engine is saying f5 for black, and I thought, well, now I have a protected passed pawn. Not sure why this is not completely winning. Probably because of the 3-pawn majority on 2 here on the queen side. Very deep stuff. Instead, my opponent plays rook d5, and this was the first moment in the game where I was like, okay, wait, what is going on? Am I not better in this position? And it turns out, no, I'm not better. I played the best move, queen c2. I'm basically trying to change the pressure to this pawn. And my opponent plays c5. Now a very critical moment. This is my chance to gain an advantage once again with rook to d5, which of course I have calculated. After the pawn takes, the idea is that knight comes to c3, and it's attacking both of these pawns, and if the black queen tries to defend them, now we have queen to d3, attacking both pawns again, and we're going to simply win one of them. The reason why I didn't go for it is because I thought that black simply has d4 here. And now if the knight takes, there's going to be queen to b6. That's not the best move as I see. Queen a5 was better. And this is an equal position. The knight is under attack. I need to defend it. For example, the engine suggests queen e2. But still, we're going to lose this. We're going to lose this. The diagonal opens up, and the line that I had calculated was queen here, and now black takes, and it has control of this very strong diagonal. I did not like this. Now with the engine, I see that this is fine. Knight to c3 apparently was all good and chill. This pawn is not going anywhere, and this diagonal is going to need at least 2 moves to be opened. But the main idea of going back to c3 after d5 is that we actually want to fork the queen and bishop. This is the correct idea. and after the queen moves and we take this bishop with check, we're going to pick up this pawn, give a check, and land in this position that is simply a completely winning endgame for white. And unfortunately I missed this, so instead I went knight back to c3 right away. But now after this trade, this push by the opponent, queen e4, and this push, I'm actually simply worst. I had a last chance to try and stay in the game with knight to d4, but I mean, black gets a passed pawn. The idea is that we can prevent it from walking with the queen and knight. Instead, I went knight to d6, and now this is simply losing after c3. B takes. I went back with the knight. This was my idea, to cut the communication of the queen, but a beautiful move by the opponent with queen to d5. Very precise. The problem is that both the knights and the queen are attacked by the queen. The queen is also threatening this check. I have to do something. I cannot avoid the queen trade without relinquishing the control of this knight. And if I take the queen, unfortunately this knight cannot go back in any way to defend this pawn, to stop the pawn, because here, for example, it can simply be taken by the bishop. Brutal move. And when I saw this move, I mean, I knew the game was over. I left my knight to hang, played a couple of more moves, and then eventually resigned right here. So a rough start to the tournament. 2 losses in a row, and I was truly heartbroken after this game. I'm probably going to post a short showing how I felt after the game. I sat at the board for like close to 10 minutes just thinking about the game, trying to run it back, trying to figure out where I went wrong. I couldn't understand how I messed it up so badly, looking at this moment and then looking at the moment right here. So again, trying to figure out, was bishop d3 the best move? Here was bishop d3 the best move? Was knight back the best move? Should I have done something else altogether? Should I have taken the knight? And I actually couldn't figure it out until I looked at the game later with the engine. Very sad stuff, but there are 4 more rounds to go. And not to spoil anything, but they went a little bit better. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you want to support me in my future tournaments and try to improve as a chess player and trying to get my first tournament win ever, I mean winning the actual full tournament, please leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I will see you all next time.